Hey guys, a couple of weeks back, we welcomed Jay Ryu, the CEO and founder of Motopark in Korea, and our longtime friend and partner to the BlackboxmyCar office. Alex and Jay have been working together for the past 11 years, and he's been our supplier of dashcam battery packs, including the ever-popular BlackboxmyCar PowerCell 8.
안녕하세요. 저는 유재영이라고 합니다.
Hi, my name is Jay Ryu. I'm the CEO of Motopark in Korea. We've been doing business with BlackboxmyCar for 11 years and are a Korean company that supplies batteries to BlackboxmyCar. We have 16 years of experience installing dashcams in over 20,000 cars. As the master dashcam installer, we got Jay to show us how he would install the new Thinkware U3000 and a PowerCell 8 battery pack into a 2016 Volkswagen GTi, as well as sharing some tips and tricks on the whole installation process. Now, as we know, European cars are always a bit more challenging to install into, so we wanted to see if Jay was up for the task. Jay starts off with running the rear connecting cable. While our installs typically start with the hardwiring and connecting it to the front camera, Jay does it a little differently. He also brought a special tool with him for this, albeit a very simple one, and that is literally a simple coat hanger wire with electrical tape on both ends to avoid causing any damage. This coat hanger is malleable enough to bend into different angles as needed, but will still hold strong enough to be useful. But that's not the only unique detail already. Before running that rear cable, he made sure to wrap the rear cable in sound-absorbing tape, looping any of the excess wire back in on itself before wrapping it all together. Here, you'll see Jay start taking down the trim of this GTi, now wiring up the A-pillar and around the trim of the door frame. Throughout this install, you'll notice Jay using zip ties to secure the cable whenever possible.
선을 소리 나지 않게 선에 묶고 있습니다. 소리가 날 수 있기 때문에 선을 여기다 묶어서 고정하는 거예요.
Frequently fixing the camera cable to existing cables, going through the vehicle to give it that straight from the factory feel. He's being extra careful here to wire properly because of the airbag.
필러 쪽에 에어백이 있지만 사이드 커튼 에어백이 있기 때문에 사이드 커튼 에어백에 선이 가 있으면 터질 때 에어백이 작동할 때 방향에 방해를 줄 수 있기 때문에요. 그 와이어를 이용해서 에어백 뒤쪽으로 선을 집어넣어서 에어백 전기에 방해가 없도록 작업을 할 거예요. 예.
Once we're past that, at the B pillar, he inserts the coat hanger into the trim, using it to hold open the slit and giving him plenty of space to run the cable easily. Now from there, it's smooth sailing until the hatchback. Like all hatchbacks, we'll need to get through the liftgate hosing, which can be a bit tricky. Some WD-40 or other lubricants can come in handy to loosen up the hosing. This lets us run the cable through and pull it out the top. With that done, we can place the camera on the rear windshield after giving the windshield a good wipe with some glass cleaner. And we're done with the rear wiring. Let's wire the front camera. We gave Jay a regular Thinkware hardwiring kit and a PC8 output cable and watched the master installer at work. He started off by soldering the ends together to create a spliced hardwiring kit. Well, what he also does is he trims the cables down accordingly to fit the car that he's installing them into.
선을 길게 남겨두진 않는다. 차에 딱 맞게. 그다음에 자기장이 생길 수 있기 때문에.
And you solder these together?
착은 잘못하면 선이 끊어질 수 있습니다. 가장 확실한 거는 납땜이에요. 오류가 적습니다.
If wire splicing and soldering isn't your cup of tea, Jay has an easier option: solder seal connectors. These neat little add-ons allow for a solderless, crimpless connection, doable by anyone with a heat gun or lighter. Simply strip both cables and put the solder seal on one of the wires. Then wrap the copper ends around each other and melt the connector with a heat gun or lighter.
나는 이걸 쓰지 않아요. 하지만 납땜을 할 줄 모르는 사람을 위해서 이런 것도 필요합니다.
And up the A-pillar we go with the front camera cables all the way to the passenger side of the vehicle. Here's probably the most advanced part of the install as he dismantles the entire rear view mirror console, choosing to wire through it for extra clean install. This can be rather tricky and wiring around it will be much easier for a beginner. Now let's get everything powered up with our handy PowerCell 8. For this install, it's going right underneath the driver's side seat. Jay's soldering everything he needs here, taking the battery power cable and cutting it down to size, including the ground. The ground was especially tricky as he needed to refix the ring terminal. We always recommend using adaffuses for connecting to the fuse box, and Jay is no different. Though instead of a simple crimp, he skips the cables and goes for another cheeky solder. Here he uses an empty slot in the GTi's fuse box for ACC power, and that's it. With everything put back into the vehicle, good as new, completed in under 2 hours. When it comes to dashcam batteries, Jay knows a thing or two about them. In fact, Jay regularly consults and works closely with one of the largest dashcam battery companies in the world, eGen, who is behind a number of popular battery packs that we've seen from Blackview and Thinkware today, including the Blackview B130X and the Thinkware iVolt BAB50. You created a custom wire between the camera and battery pack during the install and shortened many cables. Why?
배선이 마찬가지겠지만 배선의 길이가 길게 되면 대부분은
While this applies to all wiring, when the wiring is long, most people tend to bundle it up and fold it for storage. In the case of a rear camera's video cable, you can't simply cut and extend these cables because they are used for data communication. On the other hand, input and output cables for the cell-link battery provides simple power, current, and voltage, so it's recommended to cut and make them as short as possible. However, BlackboxmyCar provides splicing cables separately for ease of installation. It's not a problem to use them, but as a professional installer, I design and create custom wiring that fits the specific vehicle. I solder the wires and then wrap them in tape. The reason for this is that when you bundle up the wires, especially for products that use a lot of power and voltage, there is a higher likelihood of noise. Noise in this context refers to the electromagnetic interference rather than sound. It can affect electronic devices in the vehicle. Some of the effects of this interference might not be noticeable to ordinary consumers, but I strive to minimize these potential issues by customizing the wiring to fit the vehicle as closely as possible. If you have the opportunity, I would encourage you to give it a try. How do you think users can ensure that their battery operates well in the long term? Well, all batteries have a limited lifespan. Typically, dashcam batteries last around 3 years, and with careful usage, they can be extended to around 3 to 5 years. The efficiency of the battery decreases by approximately 10% each year. The best way to maintain battery health is not to let it discharge completely, but to periodically drive the vehicle to ensure the battery receives sufficient charging. If your car is safely parked, there's no need to keep the dashcam on unnecessarily. It's important to turn them off in such cases whenever possible. Given his expertise in battery pack, we asked Jay where he sees the future of them. The direction of battery development for dashcams in Korea differ somewhat from North America and Canada. In Korea, dashcam batteries are a specialized industry. However, the need for parking surveillance is growing in North America and other regions. Dashcam batteries are used to ensure smooth parking surveillance without discharging the vehicle's main battery. In fact, in Korea, dashcam batteries have a capacity more than twice as large as those used in other countries. Therefore, in the future, if the transportation regulations ease and larger capacity batteries become available, this industry may become highly active in countries other than Korea. Another important factor is the power consumption of dashcams. It needs to be significantly reduced for extended recording on smaller capacity batteries. However, dashcams with high power capacity leads to larger battery capacities as a drawback. So I expect to see more dashcams with lower power consumption and subsequently larger capacity dashcam batteries to activate the market further. Currently, battery packs primarily use lithium iron phosphate. The reason for using these batteries is that they offer significantly longer charge/discharge cycles compared to lithium polymer or lithium ion batteries. Lithium iron phosphate batteries generally have a longer lifespan of around 1,500 to 2,000 charge cycles, compared to the approximately 500 charge cycles of lithium polymer or ion batteries.
다만 단점으로는
Although lithium phosphate batteries are bulkier due to their lower energy density, they offer enhanced safety features with reduced risk of overheating and explosions when compared to the former. Looking ahead, I expect that we're going to see the release of batteries with higher energy densities, such as lithium titanate or other next-generation batteries. There is room for continuous improvement in battery technology, so I hope for many exciting developments in the future. Jay takes a lot of pride in his work, and 20,000 cars later, he still makes sure that every installation is done to perfection. The conditions I believe make a good installer are, first and foremost, honesty. They need to be honest about their experience with the specific vehicle, whether they have a lot of experience with it, and how long it will take to complete the install. They should also assess whether their work might cause any damage to the vehicle. But most importantly, treating the vehicle as if it were their own and handling it with care is highly valuable. However, most installers do not do this, which leads to customer complaints that are not handled properly. One of the things that installers like us are afraid of is that we have our own skills, so we tend to focus on our own ego rather than learning from others. However, I think it is important to be humble and willing to learn from others, even children. And if you are inexperienced, it is a good idea to ask for help from other people. There is no shame in asking for help. The future is certainly bright for Motopark and BlackboxmyCar. What started off as a friendship and even starting off with Jay sharing his insights to help Alex install his very first dash cam has blossomed into a very strong and enduring business relationship with BlackboxmyCar for 11 years and counting. We have maintained a strong and enduring business relationship with BlackboxmyCar for 11 years. In particular, Alex, their CEO, is like a brother to us, and they have many other staff members like Joseph, Murphy, and others who play essential roles. We have grown together through our collaboration, and we expect to continue working closely together in the future. Thank you, Jay, for stopping by the BlackboxmyCar office, and we look forward to you returning again in the future.
Hope you had a great time too. Thanks for watching. See you.